Multiversus is a competitive and fun platform fighter that rewards players for learning the strengths and weaknesses of their eclectic cast of characters and working as part of a team. His focus on online 2v2 means that the collected and played nature of games is not just Smash Brothers, but it also does a good job of differentiating it from other games in the genre. Multiversus may take some time to develop a limited selection of steps and characters currently to fulfill its amazing potential, but its origins are already strong. Some companies have a plethora of identifiable and interesting characters needed to create a fighter platform capable of competing with Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Series. With the help of developer player-first games, Warner Bros. Is trying to use the list of movie and TV studios to do so, putting together a list of fan-favorite characters that included Harley Quinn, Bugs Bunny, and Shaggy all at once. While the results create some fun multiplayer mess, Multiversus is also ambitious in its laser focus on competitive multiplayer. That makes some of the more casual features less mature, but its priority on 2v2 online games still offers new insights into the increasingly crowded genre. With a focus on gameplay 2v2, it seems like a missed opportunity not to include voice chat in Multiversus. The game is in open beta, so this feature may be applied when released. At the same time, Multiversus limits the feature based on the age you enter, so it could be intentional without enabling voice chat in Multiversus. Multiversus also has a dedicated 1v1 game mode, which means you don't have to rely on voice chat while playing by yourself. But this will not help those who prefer to play with a partner. With a bit of luck, voice chat will be implemented so partners can play without the need to run additional communication software. Unlike last year's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Multiversus clearly has significant support from the Warner Brothers family and, most importantly, the budget to continue on the player-first vision. Not only are iconic faces such as superhero DC Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman available to drive, but characters from Steven Universe, The Iron Giant, and even Game of Thrones. The initial list of 17 opening beta is a little boy for my tastes, but I'm not worried about that in the long run because the players are already going to expand in the coming months. Basketball and Space Jam superstar LeBron James has just been added, and Rick and Morty are supposed to join him in August. Although compact, the list is diverse and full of personalities thanks to its loyal and impressive vocal actors. Actors such as John DiMaggio, Jake the Dog, Kevin Conroy, Batman, Matthew Lillard, Shaggy, and Maisie Williams, Arya Stark, go a long way towards making this character feel authentic. It was great to hear the voices I remembered from the cartoons and movies I jokingly raised with characters they'd never met before. Beyond the identifiable ones, I dug into buses like Rain Dog, 2, an original creation that opened up the possibility of more new faces to take part in the anniversary on the line. Games in Multiversus are played as 1v1, 2v2, or 4 free players for all in places like the creepy Scooby-Doo-inspired house or the gadget-filled cave in the Batcave. Unfortunately, the rare selection of steps feels bland and there is no identity other than those 2 wonderful things. The other 3 sites appear to be able to happen anywhere, although they are said to be based on memorable sites such as the Adventure Time Treehouse. Thankfully the music helped make this up, and I was looking for a chance to fight at Sky Palace just to hear a beautiful Steven Universe-themed instrumental cover. As in Smash Bros., your goal is to build damage to your opponent to make it easier to send them flying into the void on the edge of the screen for slaughter. The character has 2 attack buttons to use, indicating normal punches and more visible special attacks, with various movements made by pointing the analog stick down or on all sides when releasing an attack. It is recognizable, but the system has been well executed, and control of your characters is as fast and smooth as I would expect from the chaotic gameplay of the fighter platform. Another major event is that the proposed 2v2 mode is the main way to play, making it refreshed and differentiated by Multiversus from its peers. The team battles are very fun, with each character given a class that promotes a certain style of play to help praise the couple. Whether it's a frontline tank, a brilliant attacker, a lively, lethal bulletin, or a long-range wizard and a harder support class, everyone has a role to play in the fight, and the composition of your team can be key to their success against experienced challengers. It's nice to know how Bugs Bunny and his Toon Lobster pair with the protection and crowd control provided by Wonder Woman's movements. Although I have a natural interest in tanks such as Superman and the Iron Giant. You can equip up to 4 different advantages before each game, add a custom level to improve your style of play, support your partner, or even try to fight your opposition team. 3 of them can be facilities that affect characteristics such as speed of movement or damage that are dealt with, which are strengthened in strength if your teammates use the same thing. Typical advantages of filling the 4th slot, modifying attacks and capabilities of certain characters, such as leaving a firewall after an Iron Giant booster jet or Taz hacks the runway if it eats an enemy projection. Perks adds a meaningful set of strategy to every game I respect in every manner, but especially when I'm playing alongside someone I can play with a game plan with. The unfortunate thing about a competitive 2v2 is the absence of any meaningful local multiplayer options. Currently, you can play with up to 4 people on one device in team battles and free games, such as online, but not enough here to keep my interest with friends if I want to experience any chaos. Experience of the party. Sometimes articles fill the type of FFA game, but there are no stones, dynarma, and ice weapons that entertain remotely to use or add to the chaos already played. A local multiplayer also means a lack of more prominent steps, making multiversus a disappointing game for overall relaxed play. Characters and facilities need to be unlocked, but fortunately multiversus is taking a big step in the right direction in monetizing free fight games. While the free-to-play model comes with many negative connotations and potential pitfalls, it also has the potential to be an advantage for fighting games by allowing more people to casually try out the game without spending a penny if they don't want to. And most importantly, Player First made sure that everything that affects the gameplay is accessible by simply playing, avoiding the pay-to-win an issue. Advantages are unlocked only by balancing your character or by spending free gold currency earned from playing games and completing various daily missions and reward trails. Conversely, characters can be purchased with gold, a real money premium currency called glycemium, or character tickets available for those who buy an optional Founders package. Only 4 characters are unlocked from the beginning, but I think playing just a few hours earns enough gold to unlock a new person. There's great speed in learning a character or 2 and then moving on to a new one when you have a lot of gold. Glycemium is also used to unlock some cosmetic items such as character variants, emotions, profile icons, ring-fenced animations, and more. These cosmetics are fun, especially skins that change the overall aesthetic of the character to the sound line, such as the Cat's Cake costume for Jake. However, some of the prices on these items do not match the affordable glycemium package, which compels you to buy more than necessary. It is not a new business practice, but it is still a weak practice. If you want to invest in Lua Velma or Batman, the skin of the animated series, it will cost you. They don't need to be bought at all, but if the right skin appears, such as the Superman Black Lantern, I will definitely be tempted to take out my main fighter if the price is right. Not all cosmetics cost glycemium, and there are other ways to get some of these items in free and premium season ticket rewards and by balancing each character. I love that this reason is there to play and get involved even if I don't throw money away. In this game there is no in-game voice chat or in-game chat for multiversus. This means that if you are playing on a PC, you will have to rely on third-party software such as Discord to communicate with your friends. Unlike PC players, those who play on consoles can use in-system parties and voice chat to communicate. The specifications required for this game are Windows 10 64-bit, Intel Core i5-2300 processor or AMD FX 8350, 4GB RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 550Ti or AMD Radeon HD 5850 or Intel UHD 750, Pixel Shader 5.0, Vertex Shader 5.0, storage, 6GB, VRM. 1024 megabytes for the minimum specifications, and for the recommendation are Windows 10 64-bit, processor, Intel Core i5-3470 or AMD Ryzen 3 1200, 8GB RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 or AMD Radeon R9 270, Pixel Shader, 5.0, Vertex Shader, 5.0, storage, 6GB. VRAM, 2048 megabytes. If we look at it for ourselves, it turns out that the specifications of this PC multi-bilm game are also relatively light and quite appropriate. But remember, because this game will also undergo a lot of changes, so prepare with the possibility of finding an increasingly larger game file as well. Of course, this is one of those games that is quite interesting, because it is very cool gameplay. So make sure if you really like this multiversus PC, try having minimal specs first so you won't be confused when installing the game. After you know multiversus PC game specifications, you won't be confused anymore with something like that. Due to the emergence of the games that carry the theme multiverse, it becomes even better and very exciting for you to try playing now. Multiversus frames itself as the ultimate crossing fighter, a kind of dream-come-true scenario in which anyone can come face-to-face with others. It's a bold manifesto that challenges the Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Ultimate Regime, a game featuring an unimaged team of all-star video game characters. Many people who pretended to be on the throne came and went, but, surprisingly, Multiversus made persuasive claims. The game, which is in open public beta, has strong basics, charm, and attention to detail that the clone Smash that preceded it is so lackluster, making it one of the best platform fighting games ever made. Multiversus follows the basic format of Smash Bros. Up to 4 players meet on one battlefield and fight it, with the aim of increasing enough damage to get their opponents out of bounds. The first team to score 4 knockouts in one game or the first fighter to score 2 knockouts in 121 games won. So far, so Smash. However, Multiversus puts much more emphasis on the 2v2 format, quickly establishing its own identity in the process. Mechanically, each fighter on the list has movements that negatively affect the opposition, with a positive impact on team partners. For example, every time Shaggy is completely charged using a brilliant Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme, his partner also gets a power bump for their next attack. One of Wonder Woman's special attackers gave her a special set of armor for extra protection, and if she was close enough to her partner, she would immediately jump towards them and give them buffs too. The idea that teamwork and synergy are being baked into the basics of this Multiversus is a fresh and welcome format change, with no 2 games ever feeling the same way. The dynamics of the partners also reinforce the 2v2 mode, making it feel like a central format developer that intends to play. Some of that synergy is also present through the perk system, with characters getting permanent buffs that can be fitted before a game and stacked between 2 teammates. Wildcat Brawler's advantage, for example, increases the damage to each melee attack down to the ground for teams by 5% when one player is equipped, with that percentage doubling if both players complete it. As you level up your character, you can also borrow perks from teammates before the game starts, guarantee stacks if it's properly planned, or even train your character to learn new perks using in-game gold. This is a resourceful system with a lot of permeability, especially when loans and training interfere, and when they reach a level of strategic planning unlike anything platform fighters have ever seen before. More significantly, most Multiversus mods also include online gameplay. Free for everyone tackling for human players against each other, and cross-playing capabilities that allow consoles and PCs to blend in. There are a few stutters here and there, and the occasional "now you look at me, now you don't" moments when a poor connection causes the opponent to spontaneously teleport around the map instead of running, but most of the games played have gone smoothly. Achieving this is an achievement by itself when there are only 2 players in one game, but Hercules' task is to create a network function with 4 people in several environments, console or PC, and for most of the time, Multiversus has its own. Multiversus has strong basics, charm, and attention to detail that the Smash clones that preceded it are missing greatly, making it one of the best platform fighting games ever made. The list isn't as big as the more established Ultimate Brothers Smash team, but it's a great start. Velma Dinkley joins the aforementioned Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo franchise, while Wonder Woman represents DC Comics with Batman, Superman, and Harley Quinn. Steven and Garnet from Steven Universe made cuts, as did Bugs Bunny and Taz of Looney Tunes, and Jake the Dog and Finn the Human of Adventure Time. Arya Stark has rounded up the list of 17 characters from Game of Thrones, the iconic cat and mouse duo Tom and Jerry, the Iron Giant, Space Jam's version of LeBron James, and Raindog, an original creation by developer Player First Games. It's a nicer of the good boys. Most of the roster will not be available to most players when they log in for the first time. After all, this is a free-to-play game, and with that difference comes a complete microtransaction with many currencies. The game offers a rotating list of 4 trial characters, but most fighters will be locked up. Fortunately, you can get these fighters with in-game gold along with a premium currency called glycemium, which is bought for real money. However, the grind to unlock each character through gold is longer than it should be. Case in point, when the rotation of the trial character changes after the end of the early access period, I deserve a lot of gold by playing the game to buy 3 of the 4 characters from the previous rotation, with the 4th coming just 1 day later. About 10 hours of gameplay for 4 characters may be good for the most enthusiastic players, but that means it will take about 40 hours to unlock the entire roster, and by then, at least 1 to 2 other fighters will be added. It also does not include cosmetics that are only available for purchase with Gleamium, including versions of clothing for the players, packages in which the game characters act as game broadcasts, and more. Use the Battle Pass with free and premium tiers, and the monetization is strong in multiversus. While the free-to-play grind here isn't closing down completely, more generosity to in-game gold or the option of buying everything with gold or glycemium will reduce the sting. Nonetheless, the game proves that free-to-play can work with fighting games, positioning it as a trendsetter for the whole genre. The broadcast package does a good job of highlighting the voice acting in multiversus, which is among the best we've ever heard. Each character is full of personality thanks to a team of all-star players who return to the characters who helped put them in popularity, including Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, Tara Strong as Harley Quinn, and Kevin Conroy as Batman. It is also not a random one-time line that repeats ad nauseum. Some dialogues contain a level of caution and detail that goes beyond what we expected. The character will speak to other combatants before, during, and after the battle with witty banter that can't be heard anywhere else. Hearing Bunny's bugs on Arya Stark's spell of Winterfell will never get a smile, just like hearing Superman say we'll see how iron accumulates against steel to the Iron Giant it won't be true forever. Surreal is really the perfect word to describe multiversus, a game that brings together iconic characters and fights them. These characters are authentic as they come, feeling as if they were directly torn from the original thanks to the excellent soundwork. The team-based mechanics go completely beyond anything offered in the fighter scene, and the classic 1v1 format is also impressive. The list offers a lot of variety, although it will certainly be a chore to unlock all the characters without diving into a wallet in real life. We still don't know how much of its power multiversus has harnessed. The opening beta will soon make way to Season 1, but as it is now, the game has destroyed any and all hope. Even if multiversus did not let the king go, he was more than ready to control a small corner of his own kingdom. Surplus. A mix of entertaining characters, with iconic vocal actors. Team-based creative gimmicks. Online, cross-platform gaming. Vibrant art and animation style. Smart tutorials. Faultless online battles over wired connections. Double. Many cooling movements slow down the speed of the game. It's very difficult to play free progress. Multiple steps. Troubled online battles over Wi-Fi connection. If you subscribe to HBO Max, or only watch Space Jam, A New Legacy, you know that Warner Brothers now. Stable intellectual property is discovering. Multiversus took those love characters from brands such as DC Comics, Game of Thrones, and Looney Tunes, and threw them into the chaotic free computer game. He is a playful platform fighter, an increasingly competitive subgenre over the years, one with a relatively familiar face and online-oriented gameplay to leave a strong first impression as he tries to achieve his esports dreams. You don't have to have a huge list of characters in place to create a successful platform fighter, just look at Brawlhalla. However, the crossing helps to give sensation. Fortunately, the WB has an IP that is strong enough to compete with Disney, Nickelodeon, and Nintendo, giving multiversus an interesting starting list. DC Comics may already have a special fight game with Injustice, but when you have half of all the great superheroes, you can't help but include them in your crossing game. Multiversus covers the classic Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. You can also play as Harley Quinn for some clown villains without all the burden of the Joker. Speaking of gritty, Arya Stark of Game of Thrones appeared, which is expected to open the door for other adult HBO characters, such as Logan Roy and Tony Soprano. Stars Rick and Morty of Adult Swim are scheduled to be released later this year. Multiversus also has various cartoon fighters. Fighters include classic characters such as Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry, as well as modern Cartoon Network animation stars such as Finn and Jake from Adventure Time and Steven and Garnet from Steven Universe. There is even an original character, a rain dog who likes to be cuddled, to suit. Since fighting games love good memes, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo is essentially Ryu Multiversus, a martial artist who supports beginners with divine powers because the internet demands it. Some of the stages include the Batcave, Scooby-Doo's Harassment House, and the Skyspan with the Killer Steve Universe remix theme song. Unfortunately, many characters do not have their own cages. However, each character has vocal acting, often from iconic actors such as Kevin Conroy and Matthew Lillard, which greatly enhance the value of the production. The dialogue even changes to match the new clothing. Like Combat's modern Mortal games, multiversus characters adjust their lines to immediately summon certain opponents, such as Velma calling Shaggy under his government name, Norville.